I'm going to my little spot out in the mountains, and now that we're here, let's start.
Hey everyone, Felix from Nintendo Life here, and welcome to my little spot in the mountain. In this little spot, we will talk about the Nintendo Switch 2, because it has now been out for over a month, and I myself have spent over 100 hours on this console. So, before I talk about what I like and what I don't like about the system, why don't I take you through how exactly those 100 plus hours have been spent? So, to nobody's surprise, maybe one or two of you watching, but most of my time have been spent in Mario Kart World, the big launch title of the Switch 2. I have over 65 hours in that game, and I think the main takeaway is that I really like time trialing different tracks. I've done this a lot with my little brother, where we kind of take turns playing, where we look at what the world record is, and then we just try and get as close to it as possible. And some of these tracks are really, really tough. The most recent one I've been practicing is Wario Stadium, and there's some really cool but tricky shortcuts. I've also been playing Deltarune. I've been playing Chapter 1 and 2 with my girlfriend, and I've had such a blast with the game, and I can't wait to start Chapter 3 and 4. I have around 15 hours in there. I also finished up Trials and Tribulations, the third Ace Attorney game, which took me around 25 to 30 hours. I do take quite a long time with those games, but that's because I really like to do quite a lot and then present a lot of stuff to the people I'm talking with. And I finished it up here last night, and yeah, it was a really good time, very consistent. I don't think the last case hit as hard for me as maybe it had been hyped up to, because people made it out to be the best video game writing in all of time. And I think personally that the Great Ace Attorney 2 has a more, well, I played that first, and to me that just really, really hit hard. I think I just set my expectations way too high. A game that I initially had set my expectations also way too high with was Tears of the Kingdom, which you may or may not know that I actually prefer Breath of the Wild, but I've given it a second shot here on the Switch 2, and I will say I like it a lot more this time around. I think one is that it's 2 years since I've played Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, so the map feels a lot more, well, I think I've forgotten a lot of it, where when I played it originally, I had just played Breath of the Wild. And secondly, well, it just runs like a dream. When you use the Ultra Hand, yeah, it's all just flawless 60 FPS. I've not seen a single frame drop, which is really, really impressive. And yes, just given me a second love for this game. I also played a game called Sayonara Wild Hearts, which doesn't add a lot to my 100 plus hours because it's only like an hour long. But yeah, it's a really, really good time. Played it on a plane ride, and yeah, can definitely recommend it. Some games that I've also played a little bit is Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, which, well, it's okay. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Again, I just think it should have been a pack-in title. But yeah, I mean, it is quality, so that's nice, at least. And I can see there's a fly flying around at the camera. I don't know if you can see it, but I apologize, Fly. I put the blame on you. Fast Fusion is a game that I brought up when I had some friends over, and it was a blast. People picked up the controls really fast, and I just had a really, really nice time with it. And I think lastly, where a lot of hours was sunk in was into Pikmin 4. I played most of it on Switch 1, but I finished it up here on Switch 2. But yeah, those are the games I've been spending time with on the Switch 2. And the time I've been spending, well, it has been mostly in handheld mode. I have a grip on the Switch 2 right here, and that's just really upped my enjoyment of the console, because without this grip, it's just not as comfortable in the hands. It's all right, but it's just because it's so big and so flat. I don't know, I needed something to grip onto. But the grip wasn't the only thing I bought. I also bought a very nice screen protector, and the reason I did this is because this screen, oh my god, it scratches so easily. But after I got the screen protector, I put it on, it's like the scratches have kind of disappeared, and what I've been told is, well, kind of like the glue kind of hides, goes into the scratches, which has been just a joy, because it was really bugging me that there was this, well, it wasn't giant, but it was kind of rainbow colored, the scratch kind of in the middle, so you couldn't just ignore it. It was really annoying, but it's gone now, and yeah, that's a little negative for me, that the screen just scratches a lot. I know it's also a me problem, but I've also heard a lot of other people that, you know, it doesn't take a lot. Some people have only put it in a dock, have taken it out, and somehow it's scratched. I don't know what's going on there. The screen, some people say that it looks blurry and it has some issues. I haven't noticed anything like that. Some people have also said that it's kind of like a lottery system because some people have issues with it and some other people don't. So I'm not really sure, well, what's going on there. Maybe some people are just more like notice it a lot more than others. Well, let's talk about some things I really like about just the console itself. Oh my God, I love this. This is great. Unfortunately, I don't get to do it as often with the grip on because, well, it is dockable, this grip, which is really nice, but you can't take the controllers off unless you take the grip off. Well, normally I would take the controllers off to play in dock mode, but I have bought myself a Pro Controller and, well, we have a video going over the Pro Controller where I also give my final thoughts, but just quickly, it's a really nice controller. My biggest issue with it is actually the material that's used on the controller itself. I don't know if I just have really sweaty hands, but I didn't feel it being this much of an issue on the Switch 1 Pro Controller. But yeah, there's just something with the material. It feels very like kind of slippery in a sense. But the sticks do make up for it, and also the plus and minus button, a big plus and not minus for me because they stick out a little bit and are actually buttons, and that's really nice. And yeah, everything besides the material is just an absolute win. Headphone jack, loves to see it. But back to the Switch 2 itself. The Joy-Con themselves also just really nice upgrade. Like playing it on its side, giving it to another friend. Now it's not the reaction of where the back buttons, I can't see them, they're so tiny, I need a microscope to actually look where they are. No, the back buttons, well, they are nice and big and, you know, it just works. You don't need to put on anything, it's great. One thing that I do hope to see more use of with this Joy-Con is the mouse mode. Because, I mean, it's a really nice feature, but there's just not a lot of games that support it so far. So, one of the new features on the Nintendo Switch 2 is Game Chat. And how has my experience been with it so far? Well, in the start, I felt like I was using it quite often. It was quite a novel idea. I know, it's not novel. It's been there for ages, Game Chat, but it was just fun to see your friends on the Nintendo Switch 2, or they're online, let me give them a little call. And the sound quality of the people is actually surprisingly good. I don't know how they're doing it, but this little microphone here, which is barely visible on the video itself, well, it holds, it really holds its own weight because I don't know what technology they have, but even though the Switch 2 is sitting very far off away, and I would think, why didn't they put the microphone on the actual controllers? It does work. I mean, it's not amazing, but I can hear my friends, and that's the most important thing. Now, as the month plus has gone by, I haven't used it as much, unfortunately, because some of my really close friends that I would use this with just don't have a Switch 2. So I would just normally use still my PlayStation, because that's something that they have. But we'll see. Maybe along the years they'll get a Switch 2 and I'll get some more use of it. And also, it's just, for some reason, Nintendo don't let me actually write to the people and ask, hey, can you talk? You can't text message people. What? I really hope that gets added, because that's a really big oversight, at least in my opinion, because sure, you can call people, but then they might send you a DM on like, you know, Discord or anything and be like, hey, I can't talk right now. I'm sitting, like, my family is around, or it's really late at night. I don't know. Why not let me be able to send a little text message? That would be very lovely. The camera is also something that I haven't used almost entirely. It's just sitting there gaining dust, unfortunately. But I think with the release of Mario Party Jamboree on the Nintendo Switch 2, actually, I'm really excited to give out the mini games which use the camera. There's 30 plus something mini games coming to Mario Party Jamboree on Switch 2, like new ones, and some of them use mouse mode, some of them use the camera, which is really, really cool, I think, at least. And I'm just excited to put it there and then actually see my friends and myself like hovering over the characters. I think that's going to be really fun. Something I forgot that you could do with Mario Kart World when I had my friends over. I forgot, but I think that would have been quite fun. But I think in Mario Party it's going to be even greater because you always see your characters on the screen. And this week, Donkey Kong Bonanza comes out. That's crazy. I've tried not to look at trailers ever since the Direct, just been trying to forget as much as possible because the game looks really, really great. I think my overall thoughts with the Switch 2 is that it's really great. I think initially I was actually a little bit disappointed with the Switch 2 that it was just another Switch. It just felt like, oh, it's basically just the same thing. I got used to the things so quickly, the new features, and I don't know. I think I was also just playing it so much to get videos out. I was playing so much Mario Kart that I got a bit burned out. But now that I've gotten to settle down and just take my time with it, play the games I want to play, yeah, it's been really, really good. The Switch 2, there is still some things I would like to see, like new themes, actually some music in the eShop. Quickly about the eShop is great. I've had no issues with it whatsoever. And that's a must, isn't it? And yeah, I just think it's it's a safe but solid upgrade, and I really like the new gimmicks. I'm really hoping to see more games use the mouse mode. Over time, more games supported point-and-click adventures. I would love to play Return to Monkey Island again. I would love to play Stardew Valley with the mouse mode, but it's just not there yet. So, and I'm also really, really excited to see games that are actually built for Switch 2, like from the ground up, because Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza were actually Switch 1 games, and then they shifted to Switch 2. That's very normal for like games that come out at release, because they start on the old console and then we should actually make this for the new console, and suddenly there's a lot more freedom. But yeah, and a game like the next Zelda game being built from the ground up on the Switch 2, it's many years off in the horizon, but my God, it's very exciting to be a Nintendo fan right now. I mean, there's not a lot of incentive to get the Switch 2 if you're not that much into Mario Kart, because a lot of the games I've been playing are games that you can also play on Switch 1. The big one for me is Donkey Kong Bonanza. That's the reason you should go out and get a Switch 2. And I haven't played it, so it might not be as good, but it's just, Mario Kart World is a good party game. Unless you're really into it, you can play it a lot by yourself, but I don't know. It's not like a reason to go out and get a Switch 2. I don't feel like you need to play Mario Kart. Well, it is good, but it's just after 65 hours in the game, it also has a lot of flaws. It's not this perfect game that just surpasses Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where Donkey Kong Bonanza, well, I just think, yeah, if I didn't have a Switch 2, that would be the reason I would get a Switch 2. But what are your thoughts on this system? How have you been spending your time? What do you think of it overall? Well, let us know down in the comments below. And thank you for joining me at my little spot in the mountain. If you're still watching, I'll really appreciate that. All right then, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one. Felix from Nintendo Life, out.